We're joined from Cairo by the editor-in-chief of Al-Shorouk Newspaper and Egyptian Senator Emad Eldin Hussein. Good evening to you, sir, and welcome to Qnews. Let me start by asking you about the obstacles that could undermine the effectiveness of the ceasefire in Suweida, and why do clashes persist even after official declarations of peace?
Peace be upon all of you. My greetings to you and to all the audience. Ceasefire has entails many challenges and issues. First element or factor that there is a part, Druze doesn't want a ceasefire. They want an ongoing clash, just to have a foreign intervention to separate Suweida and make it an isolated province. In addition to Syrian-backed militias doesn't want this clashes from the Druze and want to intervene into Suweida and has wants support from some tribes. There is a factor of the Syrian state that doesn't realize the dire of the importance of these threats, which hinders to have a unified state. Fourth, there is another factor, which is Israel. Israel doesn't want stability for Syria. It encourages rebellions in Suweida and allegedly say they protect themselves and it protects the Druze in order to have a gateway to intervene more inside the province and inside Syria. These challenges, there is actually some countries doesn't wish good for Iran. There is a regional conflict between Turkey, Russia, and the US, and of course Israel is also a factor.
Now, how does the sectarian divide between the Druze and Bedouin communities reflect on the chances for enduring peace and reconciliation in the Suweida area?
As we know, the division in Syria is been going on for a long time ago. The ethnical and geopolitical is very complex. We can an embracement could happen in one crystal with the old regime, but now with the new regime started to fight the Druze and the Alawis. So the real solution is for the Syrian state to hold to be responsible, to have a country for all sectarianisms.
Now, as you said respectively, that the Israeli involvement add complexity to the conflict and affect Syria's internal stability, and as reported that the US administration is in concern about the Israeli involvement in Syria. Now, what do you have on that, and how do you view such concerns?
With this nature, the US says it's concerned about what's going on in Syria. We cannot believe it. When the US wants something, they do it. It says it demanded Iran and Israel to stop, to put an end to the war, and it will give 2 weeks to Iran. And then we were surprised that they airstriked Iranian authorities. It was a cover for Israeli strikes. Same thing, we cannot believe what the US says in this regard. The US in this regard leans towards what Netanyahu wants, and Netanyahu does what he wants with full support from Israel and the US Congress. So I don't believe at all that the US is really concerned. It issued reports about that, but everyone knows that it's unbelievable.
Right. How do the differing agendas of the regional and international players, such as definitely the US, Israel, and Syria's interim government, influence the implementation of a durability or the durability of a ceasefire agreement?
We know from the beginning of conflicts in Syria, there is a regional, local, and international conflict in Syria. We found Russian, Iranian, Turkish, Israeli, Russian Gulf intervention. Now the situation has changed a little bit, and instead of Iranian-Russian control, we have now Turkish control, majorly to the best interest of a new state, and the biggest loser has become Hezbollah, then Iran, then Russia. Now we have a change of players. The biggest gainer is Israel, because they invaded more land. They disarmed Syria from many areas. I think this conflict is going on because there is a social, economic, political, very fragile infrastructure exploited by Israel very skillfully. This plan may fail if all Syrian components believe in their unity to have Syria for all citizens, but there is minorities work for Israel. We've seen some minorities and Jews swinging the Israeli flag, and it's a very very vicious plot we have to warn against in order to foil any Israeli plots.
Right, that was Mr. Emad Eldin Hussein from Cairo, the editor-in-chief of Al-Shorouk Newspaper and Egyptian senator. We thank you so much